No! Why?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That's so mean.
Now you gotta do it all again.
Hey guys, I'm BreaCheese, and this is the 4th episode of my Hardcore Ironman Progress series. Let's hop right into it, and I hope you all enjoy. So at the end of the last episode, we were starting to plan around doing the Dragon Slayer quest. While I was upgrading my magic and defense stats, I decided to add a couple of new quest priorities to our quest guide. Basically, I added some things like Lunar Diplomacy for getting the Lunar's armor, Royal Trouble for unlocking our kingdom, Tears of Guthix to unlock the Fantastic Weekly from it, and Beneath Cursed Tides for the Oyster Monthly. Because of this, our quest guide reorganized itself to do some other things for now, so we're not actually doing Dragon Slayer right away. So with our new list set up, the first quest we're working on is the Dig Site quest. This quest is pretty straightforward, and is actually easier than ever since they updated the Dig Site area. Funnily enough, I also earned myself a mining level while sifting for the special cup. Also, there seems to be this weird bug here where this NPC can just walk right through this table. Once you've completed this quest, you gain a bit of Herblore XP and a massive amount of mining XP. With that done, the next quest on our list is one of our new priorities, Beneath Cursed Tides. This is actually a really fun and interesting quest where you get to go back to the original tutorial island, except it's been sunken underwater and all the NPCs are now sea creatures. When you get to the final battle, it can be really nice if you have your camera set to the freedom option because it allows you to zoom out much further so you can see all the enemy spawns. And with this quest complete, we get a whole bunch of combat, fishing, and cooking XP. The main reward for this quest though is the Giant Oyster Monthly. Each month you can come to this oyster and gather from these fishing and farming nodes for some really nice XP. And once you've drained each node, you get a couple of items to feed to the giant oyster. And once you've done that, when you come back the next month, you'll be able to check the giant oyster for some rewards from the clue scroll drop tables. And if you're really lucky, you can even get the really rare drops like dyes. The next quest on our list is the Sea Slug quest. This is a pretty quick one that awards you with a big chunk of fishing XP when complete. Next on our list is the Giant Dwarf quest. One of the item requirements for this quest is Law Runes, so you can use Telekinetic Grab. I didn't actually have any Law Runes yet, and couldn't find a reasonable place to buy them, so I ended up going over to the Chaos Druids in the Taverley dungeon to try and get some as a drop. Luckily for me, this didn't end up taking very long. This quest is pretty easy to complete, but there is one part where you need to collect different ores and bars for the company that you decide to join. Depending on your mining and smithing levels, it may be kind of hard to find some of the ores or bars requested. For me, I was asked to get some gold ore, which I hadn't realized that I didn't actually have the levels to mine. So what I ended up doing was I gathered a bit of energy so I could transmute some silver into gold. And with that quest done, we get a nice bit of XP and a variety of skills. Our next quest to complete is the Elemental Workshop quest. The first quest in this series is very short and easy. You do have to defeat an Earth Elemental during the quest, but it's not very difficult by any means. After completing this quest, we receive a nice bit of crafting and smithing XP. Next, we're going to complete Elemental Workshop 2. This one's a bit longer than the first, but overall isn't very difficult to complete. After completing this quest, we gain some more crafting and smithing XP. Continuing on with our quest list, we ended up completing a handful of simple quests. Starting with Monk's Friend, where we help a monk throw an awesome party. Then, we braved the Mortmire Swamp to help out the nature spirit. We hooked up 2 giant slimes with each other. And then, we cheated a vampire out of a fishing contest. With those quests done, the next one on our list is the Tale of the Muspah. To complete this quest, we needed to get some cosmic runes. I was first trying to get cosmic runes as a drop from these hill giants, until I was helpfully informed that we could actually just do a shooting star instead. This was a really easy and fantastic way to get a whole bunch of cosmic runes, along with some astral runes and a nice bit of mining XP. Tale of the Muspah is another really simple quest to complete. There's a section where you need to float these flaming rafts to melt some ice, but if you follow the guide on the wiki, it shouldn't cause you any trouble at all. Our next quest to complete is In Search of the Marek. The most time-consuming part of this quest is just gathering all of the required items. Make sure you don't forget to bring everything you need so you don't have to run all the way back to Mort'ton like I did. At the end of the quest, you need to fight this skeletal hellhound, but it's very easy to beat. And with that done, we get 2 more quest points and a bit of XP and a bunch of skills. Next up to complete is Shades of Mort'ton. It can be very helpful to do this quest while on World 88, because it's the official world for the minigame in this quest, and it's extremely difficult to complete this by yourself. When we started this quest, it was right near the end of that day's stream, so it was pretty late and there was no one there to help out. I tried completing it on my own, but I just wasn't able to get it done, so we decided to leave this one until the following day. The following day was Halloween, and I decided to dress up as a pirate. Ahoy there, Scallywag! Welcome aboard the BreaCheese. I'm Captain Cheese, and I'll be your captain for the day.
Oh, that's rad.
I really wanted to start working on the pirate quest line to go along with this, and unfortunately, I found out that I literally could not even start the first pirate quest yet. So instead, we started off by completing Chef's Assistant and learning how to make some tasty cheesecake. Next, it was time to go back and try and complete the Shades of Mort'ton quest. Luckily, this time there was some people there and completing the quest was a breeze. The next quest we needed to complete was the Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf. This is one of a couple quests that has a few segments that require you to wait for a while. The first of those in this quest is getting the barley needed to complete the quest. So I went ahead and planted some barley seeds and then continued on with my dailies, as well as the monthlies that had just reset. Unfortunately, our giant oyster wasn't too exciting this month, but we did get a fortunate component. I also realized that we passed 75 quest points, so we were able to grab our next quest dice for a bit of extra gold. While completing all of this, we actually discovered there was one pirate-themed quest that we could actually complete, Pirate's Treasure. So of course, we went and completed that right away. And with that done, our barley was now fully grown, and we were able to begin the Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf. During the quest, there's a part where you need to get a random item for this dwarf. I ended up being requested to bring him an anchovy pizza, so I went around and gathered everything I needed to make a pizza, and then cooked it. No! Why?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That's so mean!
Now you gotta do it all again.
So I then again went around and gathered everything I needed to make a pizza, and then I went and grabbed some anchovies to put on my pizza, and I need 55 cooking. What the hell?
Uh-oh.
That's
I got
not
another
okay. Oh my god, after all this.
Now you know.
This is rude. So after all the trouble I went through, I couldn't even make the item. Luckily, you can change the item requested if you just go back and talk to the dwarf. After getting the new item and bringing it back, the next step in the quest was to grow some more stuff. So we planted our Kelda seeds and continued on with some other quests while we waited for them to grow. The next quest we were going to complete is the Eyes of Glouphrie. For this quest, we needed to have some mud runes. We didn't have any talismans to do this yet, so we had to go farm some enemies to get what we needed. With the items gathered, we went ahead and made some mud runes. Since it had taken us a little while to gather those items, our Kelda hops had finally grown, and we went back to Keldagrim to continue the previous quest. Almost immediately after, there's another segment where you have to wait for your beer to ferment, so back to the Eyes of Glouphrie we went. To make things easier in this quest, make sure to get as many of these tokens from Brimstale as you can. With this quest done, we get a big chunk of magic XP, some rune crafting, wooding, and construction XP, and a couple quest points. With that done, our beer was finally fermented and we were able to go back and finish the Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf. Now it was time to complete an Aid of the Marek. This is a pretty long quest that also requires a bunch of items to complete. There's more items than you can carry in one inventory, so it's best to just bring what's needed for each specific part of the quest. There's a couple items that you can actually grab from the general store in Mort'ton, like tinder boxes and swamp paste, so you can save yourself some room by just grabbing those items from there. Later on in the quest, you'll have to fight a couple vampire juvenates. I'd recommend bringing an offhand melee weapon to use alongside your silver sickle, because it's not very strong on its own. Afterwards, you'll need to defeat Gatarinx, who's not too tough at all either. After a bit more running around, we eventually completed the quest and gained a bunch of XP and a handful of skills. And that takes us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I also stream all of this account's gameplay on Twitch, so if you'd like to come hang out and follow along live, make sure to stop by my Twitch channel, which has the same name as my YouTube account, BreaCheese. Also, if you have any feedback for me about the video, it would mean so much to me if you could leave it as a comment. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.